Hi, I'm Jannik Hanfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Wolfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the Game for That podcast. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Hopefully.
Novak Djokovic has won the gold medal at the Olympics. It was the moment I was waiting for since December. When I said he's going to win the Olympics, he did it, JG, and we're here for a podcast to discuss it.
Yeah, we're going to be speaking about everything Novak Djokovic today, so sit back, enjoy, and this was us earlier, watching it all unfold.
Serves in, Djokovic return, it's deep. Djokovic, big forward, yes! He's done it! Djokovic has got the gold! Yes! Come on, son! Yes, he's done it!
You can tell by Ben's reaction, Novak Djokovic has won the gold medal in straight sets, 2 tie breaks. The last thing he needed to achieve, and he's won gold.
I mean, I could have put more energy in for sure. It was a long match, and it wasn't the result I wanted. I put my hands up. I did not want Novak Djokovic to win the gold medal. I did not want him to be able to say he's completed tennis and won everything. But that is the case. That is the reality right now. And I'm the first person to admit and say fair play. Put your hands up. What a champion he is and what an athlete. Something nobody will ever be able to reciprocate on a tennis court, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, your reaction was, I'll let you explain it. How did you feel?
It was just a
bit wild.
An outpour of something that's been held inside me for a long time. I mean, you could hear, I think my voice went up about another, I don't know, some crazy level that I didn't even think was possible. It even sounded like a little bit of a squeal by the end. But I think when your real emotions come out, you don't really care how it sounds, just that it's honest. And I think you just all saw it there. I mean, the one thing I wanted this year, more than anything, and I know that we had an interview with Julie, obviously one of his biggest fans, and someone put it in the comment section of our other video. Go check out our reaction, saying, what a great call, because you gave Julie the option, Djokovic to win 2 slams this year or the Olympic gold medal. And she went for the gold, I went for the gold, and Djokovic has got the gold.
Yeah, and you could say it wasn't easy, despite it being straight sets. We can see here he beat Alcaraz 7-6, 7-6, but it doesn't quite tell the story. They were very close sets. Of course, both tie breaks. And now, in big finals, I think Alcaraz has only lost twice. And both of them being to Novak Djokovic. And all of the sets he's lost being tie breaks. And he doesn't seem to be able to get the better of Djokovic in these big matches in a tie break, despite what he did at Wimbledon. He seems to be able to either beat him more comfortably, or if it's a real battle and a dogfight, Djokovic just has that extra gear. And I think a lot of this does come down to what you said, motivation, and what means so much to Novak Djokovic. And I think Gil said it perfectly. When he has something which is the biggest motivation for him, his main goal, he puts everything into it, and it's difficult for him then to lose. So you can see here, look, so you've been playing pro tennis for 20 years. You have one final chance to win, the only thing you haven't won. Tennis players are supposed to crumble under that kind of pressure, and Djokovic was left with less than 100% movement, played a pristine match, cut from a different cloth. I don't think that was actually the tweet I was talking about, but still, it's a good one.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he sort of hits the nail on the head quite often, Gil. But when you put the gravity of the situation that he was sort of in today, even getting to the final, you saw how much getting to the final meant to Novak Djokovic. He fell on his back, and there were images put on Twitter or online showing his, like, what was it, his Roland Garros wins, and they put the image next to the wins, and it was the exact same thing. That's how much getting to the final for Serbia, for his country, knowing it's his best ever finish, and he now had the opportunity finally to play for the gold medal. He's never had the opportunity to play for the gold medal until earlier today. And there was something about it today. Just knew he wasn't going to let this one opportunity slip away. And that first set, he was second best. There was no doubt about it. Alcaraz was incredible, but he just hung in there. He did a proper Djokovic on him, hung in there until the tiebreak, and then the tiebreak master showed what he's made of. It was incredible. The whole thing was.
Yeah, I found the tweet I was referring to, and it's not a tweet, actually. It is on our comments of the video we posted on our reaction. It's from Gary Lyons. It got quite a few likes, and it was Gil Gross, something he said in one of his observations. And he was like, Gil Gross is right. When it comes to Djokovic at this stage of his career, it's all about motivation. When he is driven and dialed in and motivated, he can win anything and beat anyone. And it wasn't a tweet, it was just a comment. So thank you, Gary. Shout out to you.
Cheers, Gary.
I really liked it because I understand exactly what he means by it. And it sort of words everything perfectly. Djokovic at this stage of his career and this season has not won a single tournament. This is the first tournament he's won. He's not looked great at all. And you can say maybe part of that is how much motivation has he got to, when he's leading the slam race, to keep winning slam after slam. It's a very tough thing to do on your body and on your mind. His main motivation, you could argue, was maybe the Olympics. It was something he's not won before. He knows that is something he's not won. And he's very aware that when he retires, the only thing any Federal fans will ever say about him is, oh, you never got the gold medal, did you? That will always be a bit of a narrative. So he has now got rid of that altogether. Nobody can ever say he never got a gold medal at the Olympics and didn't peak. He's now got a bronze and a gold, 20 years separating the two. And I don't know, maybe bring up the stats of everything he's won, because it is remarkable when you look at it.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Rafael Nadal was the one who said winning the Olympics meant more to him than winning a Grand Slam. So this is a big honour and echoed by all of the tennis players who win a gold medal, because it comes round so, 4 years. Every 4 years, you don't get many chances to win one in your career. And the fact Andy Murray's done it twice, I mean, credit to him.
Yeah, so this is what he's won. 10 Australian Opens, 3 Roland Garros, 7 Wimbledon, 4 US Open, chance to make that 5 in a few months' time, 8 year-end number ones, 2 career Golden Masters, 1 Davis Cup, 428 weeks at number 1, which is the most ever, and 1 Olympic gold medal. Novak Djokovic has completed tennis.
You missed out 7 ATP finals on there, sorry. But yeah, add that one in as well. We could have an 8 by the end of the year for that as well.
Yep.
It's just insane. He does it on all the surfaces as well. I mean, the indoor, the outdoor, the clay, the grass, there's just no surface that he's not good at. And it just doesn't come round very often, this type of player. I know we say the Olympics doesn't come round very often. Novak Djokovic's don't come round very often either. And I don't know if we're going to be seeing somebody quite so complete ever again. I mean, I know we're talking about the likes of Alcaraz, and is he going to reach this level? I don't know, but does he have the same level of competition? Remember, he's done this in the era where Nadal and Federer, who are the consensus best players for everybody else in the world, he's done it during this era.
So I'm going to disagree with you slightly. So if you're speaking about Novak Djokovic as, what was the word you used?
What, the greatest?
Complete? Or as a player, just generally like the level he can produce. Will we ever see another Novak Djokovic who can reach these levels? I think we are going to see players reach the levels of Novak Djokovic in terms of tennis terms. I think right now, a Carlos Alcaraz reaches the levels of Novak Djokovic. But that's not what makes Novak Djokovic so special and such a great athlete, and now the greatest of all time. He probably was before, but this just cements it for sure.
Yeah.
It's not that the fact that he is such a great tennis player and how he plays. It's, for me, the mental side, which is what makes him the greatest. And you can also put in the same package the word hunger. He is the hungriest tennis player you've ever seen.
Yeah.
He is driven by titles, he is driven by records, and he is driven to be the best in his field. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to always see the height of Novak Djokovic and the level he plays, nobody ever reaching it. You're going to see players throughout the season. Jannik Sinner reaches the same heights as Djokovic, if not maybe surpassed him this year. But still, what Djokovic has is that hunger and desire to keep winning titles and collecting them all. And I think that's something which we're never going to see ever again. Someone as hungry as him to consistently go out there, despite having injuries, despite having setbacks, despite being banned from countries, events, and all of these different things, he has this hunger to be able to still go out and prove people wrong, to go and win in these kind of circumstances. And that is what makes him such a great athlete. It's not actually just his tennis. His tennis is, of course, the best. But I think that level has been matched by many players. I think Rafael Nadal on a clay court has done just the same thing, if not surpassed him. Carlos Alcaraz reaches the same heights as he does on a tennis court. There's not much separating them in ability. So, yeah, that's my assessment of it and the way I see it.
I think that we're really going to see how significant what Novak Djokovic has achieved right now and what he has done so late in his career. When we get to see this current crop of players, when they get to 37-year-olds, are they still beating the best players on tour coming through? Or because that's the big thing about Djokovic right now is he's beating the best players on tour right now who are 16 years younger than him, and he's doing it with a bit of a bum knee. And I don't know how he's doing it. I think everybody's just shocked that somebody can play the level he played today was up there with some of the best tennis I've seen him play in recent years. I mean, he took it to Alcaraz, and Alcaraz was playing really well. It wasn't like an Alcaraz faltering, maybe in some of the big moments, but I think Djokovic just took the match to him. And like you said, motivation is key. Is he motivated to win more slams? We'll find out. I mean, when he has a bee in his bonnet, Novak Djokovic, and this is the one thing, he's such a great athlete. He's a role model, an athlete to really look towards if you are a young player on tour. And I think he has such strong principles as a man and a great person to follow, I think, in life. Somebody who sticks up for themselves, doesn't bow down to the norm that the rest of the world does, as we saw
social
during
pressures.
Yeah, exactly, through COVID. Doesn't get downbeat when the media sort of turns on him and the crowd turns on him. He's taken all of that in his stride, and he still comes up smelling like roses. So
yeah, he's definitely an inspirational figure and someone who will leave a lasting print on people's lives. I don't think just in a tennis sense, but I think in everyday life he has that real, I can't think of the word, like what's someone in like a battle who's going to be remembered?
Trying to think.
Let us know the word in the comment in the
Man
live
of
chat,
honour.
because Ben will never ever find a word which I cannot find ever. But he's going to be one of them guys, one of them people who will be remembered as like a real figurehead. Let's go to the live chat quickly, because there's one comment I did quite like, and this is from Ashley saying, I read on X that Nole wants to play the LA Olympics in 2028. He did say that. He's optimistic. He's going to be 41 years old, and I didn't think it was going to be possible before today. But after seeing that, I mean, anything is possible if he puts his mind to it. You'd have to think he's not going to be at the level of right now, and Alcaraz and Sinner will be even better. There may even be a few other younger players in there. Massetti coming through looking good, or someone else we don't even know about.
Doubles, maybe? He would just want a doubles gold.
Listen, it wouldn't surprise me if he plays it, but I don't see him winning it anyway. But a long way to go for that. Let's move on to the next tweet.
Yeah, this is what he said in his post-match press conference. He's just talking, obviously, about the win. He said, "This supersedes everything I imagined and hoped I could experience and feel. The fact I won the bronze at the first Olympics and ever since failed to win a medal, this is probably the biggest sporting success I've had in my career. I mean, wow, that is huge. I mean, I didn't even expect him to say that myself.
No, but it makes sense. Yeah, of course it did. I'm not that surprised at all. I think he put so much into it. His motivation was there. I always do feel, despite what Nadal said and despite what Djokovic is saying today, the biggest achievement in tennis will always be a Grand Slam. That's where you get all the best players. You play more matches. You play best of five. It's going to be the toughest test for a tennis player, and that is the pinnacle of the sport. However, I do always like the Olympic magic. I think having a gold medal, I am someone who likes the Olympics. Some people don't. I know it's not very popular. Some people call it a scam, this, that, or whatever. But I've always watched it growing up. I watched the 100-meter sprint today. I love it. And to have a gold medal in whatever discipline it is and whatever sport is something you'll always remember and which you'll always gain respect for, in my eyes, because it is the biggest thing you can do in sport.
Prestigious, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that goes down in history. I always remember the Olympics. I've always been watching it from a very, very young age as well. And you always remember those magical moments, like you say. And I remember Murray's magical moment in London. That was just very, very emotional moment for him. And I think Djokovic is feeling a bit of the same, a bit of that emotion. And good tweet to have here. Andy Murray, post-retirement, his wish came true. I would like to see Djokovic win the gold medal. And then they both are with their gold medals. They can... They met up, didn't they? Just as they got to the Olympics, had a nice photo together as well. Still, this is the one thing I want to say about Novak Djokovic as well. Obviously, I'm a massive Andy Murray fan. I followed Murray's career from when he first came on the tour all the way up to retirement just recently. And he's the reason that I moved over to supporting Djokovic as well. I think I see such similarities with the two of them. They're great comedic people. They have such a drive, and I just they have great friendship as well. But they both have very similar game styles. But there's just something about like their honor and just something about them as a person. As soon as Murray, the injury, and he was unable to compete at the highest level, Djokovic sort of took over and earned so much respect from me that I couldn't help but support him. And his recent stuff that he's done in the media and battled against the world, really, I'll take my hat off to him. I think he is a model professional, a man, sportsman, everything. Completed
and he's got a lot of respect.
Yeah.
So much respect for Novak Djokovic. I saw an image earlier of the Big Four. They were there. I think it was probably one of the times in London at the ATP finals because they all had the suit and it was by the Thames. And the caption was just basically how many Grand Slams they've all got. And I think in gold medals, between all four of them, there's 6 gold medals, 19 years of number one status as well combined. It's been an era which has been dominated by the four of them. But I think it's safe to say Djokovic won the competition of the guy who ended at the top as the greatest, the guy who broke all the records. And some people will be like, why is JG saying all this now? It's all a bit too late. You can only react to what you see. And I have alluded to, I think we did a podcast, was it last Australian Open? So possibly. Over a year ago, and we spoke about Djokovic then, and I said he is statistically the greatest of all time. He's not going to be my favourite tennis player. I'll always be a Rafa fan. He's someone who I like watching, and I'm a fan of his style of play and him as a man. But you got to still, on the other hand, respect Djokovic, and he has eclipsed Rafael Nadal's achievements on the tennis court. They've all got sublime achievements. They'll all be legends of the game, and they've all got their own things what they're better at than the other. But as a complete and an overall athlete, this is the perfect graphic to illustrate it. You'd have to say Novak Djokovic has completed tennis. So you've got the 15 biggest tournaments in tennis. Djokovic has won each and every one. Nadal's currently missing 3. Federer retired, missing 3 as well. And it hasn't even been a question for years now. Djokovic is clearly the GOAT. So the 3 which are missing for Nadal is the Tour Finals, Miami, and Paris. And for Roger Federer, it's the Olympics, Monte Carlo, and Rome. We know Roger Federer, unless there's some crazy science, technological advancement where he's able to be regenerated in AI form back to tennis, will never win any of them. Nadal has a chance in theory, but I don't think he'll ever get to the Tour Finals again because you need to be consistent for a season. Will he play Miami next year? Maybe. Paris is at the end of this year. It'd be great if he does play it. Do I think he can win on that surface? Not a chance. So it's safe to say that probably Rafael Nadal will never win any of them 3. Federer certainly won't, and Djokovic will be the only man in history to ever complete it all. And we're looking at the likes of Alcaraz and Sinner now. They've got chances, don't get me wrong, but with the Olympics one, it is the hardest to achieve because it only comes around every 4 years. All of the others, you play every single year. The Olympics is every 4 years. And who's to say in 4 years' time Alcaraz is not having an injury at that time? He may have to play his next one in 8 years. And what's he going to be like then? So there's so many if, buts and maybes. You can never rely on getting one. That's why if Alcaraz was able to win that today, he would be the youngest ever gold medalist in tennis. And he would have ticked off the hardest one to get, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still can't quite believe that it happened today. I'm sort of like, I feel shocked by the whole thing. Like, I know that it was possible, but there was just part of me that just was thinking, this is the last opportunity for him to get this gold medal. If he doesn't get it today, it's never happening. I mean, I don't care if he goes, he's not going to win it when he's 41 years old. I'm sorry, he's great, Djokovic, but he's just not winning a gold medal in the singles at 41. You could be, well, you don't know what the advancements are going to say. Maybe Federer comes back and plays the next Olympics. We don't know, but it's unlikely. And Alcaraz in 4 years' time is probably going to be even better than he is right now. And that's the scary prospect. Djokovic isn't going to be better than he is, I wouldn't think, in 4 years' time than he is right now. So the fact he did it, I'm lost a bit, like, of how it happened. It's like a dream. Every Djokovic fan out there, their dreams were answered today. They all came true.
Well, we've got Chenzo saying, I waited over a decade for today. The Djokovic fans will be partying into the early hours, I'm sure. There's some funny image and videos of Djokovic partying with champagne. He's dancing with Serbian flags and all sorts. Shout out to Jamie Drummer for the super chat. Jamie. Thank you for that. If anyone wants to have their comment read out, please do give us a super chat. We will 100% read it out and say our thoughts in real time. And he said, Doomsday arrived. It's officially over. Of course, you can see by his photo, big Rafael Nadal fan. And it is safe to say the GOAT race is well and truly done. If not, it has been for probably well over a year now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, it was the one thing that they were clinging on to was the gold medal, wasn't it? That was the one thing. And beating Rafael Nadal as well on the way to claiming the gold medal. Surely that counts for something as well, because it was sort of like, this is my moment now. I'm going to beat Rafa at Roland Garros, well, in the same stadium, and then go on. So he not only beat Rafa in straight sets, he beat Alcaraz in straight sets as well. It's not a bad way to finish up this Olympics, is it? I mean, he didn't drop a set.
Yeah, we forget that as well. He had to, along the way, beat Nadal.
It was quite tough as well.
And I think that does make it quite special. It's just a shame Nadal didn't get going in that second set a little bit sooner. Because he was 4-love down before he got going. Imagine if I don't know. There's so many. It doesn't work like that. But what could have been, hey? If Nadal would have won that match, we wouldn't be here right now. But it didn't happen. And this is what Carlos Alcaraz had to say after losing to Djokovic. He said, it's painful to lose the way I lost this match. I had my chances to probably be up in the match. I couldn't take it. Novak was playing great. He deserves this. In the tough moments, he increased his level. He played unbelievable shots, an unbelievable game. I'm a bit disappointed, but honestly, I'll leave the court on my head really, really high. I gave everything I had. Fighting for Spain was everything to me. I'm proud with the way I played today. And there were some emotional scenes afterwards. You saw Carlos Alcaraz crying on the court. I think there's always a little bit more pressure when you're representing your country. It's like you feel like you're letting more people down, whereas usually he's just representing Carlos Alcaraz and he's his own person. Yeah. When you're there with a flag, with the Spanish colours and the flag on your chest, you have that extra pressure, I feel, and that's what made him maybe so emotional like he was. I hope he gets his chance again. But there's no certainty. You never know what's going to happen. With the Olympics, it's tough, though, Ben, because who's to know he's not going to be injured for every Olympics. It can happen at that time of the year. It's worrying, though. Like, you don't know. You could just miss out on it. It's every 4 years. And you never get that many chances to win a gold medal. But today, he did say after the match, when he was off the court in the press room, that he felt in the tie breaks, he needs to play a lot better. He felt like he needs to play a lot better in them really important moments in tie breaks. There were some shots he was a bit uncharacteristic today, which you'd usually make and do a little bit more on. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I think he still played a really good match at his own admission as well.
High level. I mean, some of the drop shots, he was sort of... It was almost not mocking Djokovic, but the way he was able to pull out those drop shots, and Djokovic was just rooted to the baseline a lot of the times, and those power forehands, Djokovic could barely control the ball when they landed in near the baseline. It just goes to show there were just so many close moments. I mean, look how close the match was. It was 7-6, 7-6. And if you go to the point by point, you see how many break points there were flying around in that first set.
I mean, neither player could generate any breaks at all. So many break point opportunities. They both did well to save them. And Djokovic deserved it today. Let's not kid ourselves. He played some really good stuff. And this was the best Djokovic performance, by the way, I've seen in 2 years. Yeah, it was that's my assessment anyway. So let's go through some super chats because we've got them in the live chat. We asked for them. And if you do want your question read out, please leave a super chat and we'll read it out. So we've got Her saying, Nole needs silver at the LA Olympics to complete the set. He's got bronze, he's got gold, just missing silver. Do you reckon he'll aim for that?
I think does it count if he goes in just for the doubles and then just gets a silver in the doubles?
For sure, yeah.
I think just go for the doubles then, and then maybe just try and complete the set that way.
What, and try and lose the final?
He might get beaten in the final. You never know. I don't think try and lose it, but just if he can get... I think he'll take a gold in the doubles as well. I mean, that's another...
Unless he plays the doubles, wins the gold, and then whoever they beat in the final, he just exchanged his gold one for a silver, and then he's got the full set.
Yeah. Surely that
sounds
counts.
like a really good idea, doesn't it?
Just exchanging your medal gives away a gold.
We've got Andrea Citta from Italy saying, thoughts on Sinner's draw in Canada? Seems tough.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't even seen it yet. I mean, we will be bringing out hopefully a draw preview for that maybe tomorrow, just going through Sinner's draw. But I actually haven't seen it. Let us know... the actual draw, if you've...
I did see it on Twitter earlier, but I can't remember it fully. So what we're going to do, Andrea, is we will be doing a dedicated video giving our thoughts on Sinner's draw. We'll make sure to include a segment of that video when we do talk about the draw on just who he's playing as well. But yeah, I saw from the reaction it's quite tough, yeah.
Draper first is not easy. So yeah, just to speak about that, I think... You've not been done any favours. Jack Draper is a very, very solid tennis player. As long as the weather's not too hot out there, then it'll be quite competitive.
Jamie Drama says, hope Carlos never wins anything else ever again. Let Rafa down twice this week. Oh, come on, Jamie. Can't be saying that.
Terrible.
I wouldn't say Carlos let Rafa down in the doubles anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he did all the work. I mean,
no, Rafa played better in some of the matches, by the way.
Some of them.
He looked a bit rattled, but still, they're never going to be a doubles pairing because they don't play doubles that regular, and there was some really good players in it. So
I thought your tweet was
the way it
right
happens.
though, where you I don't know what Rothenberg was talking about, saying that they're the best doubles pairing. I mean, what?
Well, he was like they're favourites. I just don't understand what he's saying by that. I think it's
Disrespect.
disrespectful to doubles players. Like, that is their own. It's a different sport, doubles
Yeah.
and singles. So, yeah, I had to call that out because I thought it was ludicrous.
It was ludicrous. I mean, what was he thinking? I mean, obviously it was going to be much more difficult playing an actual doubles pairing. Yeah. Anyway, they're rankings in doubles for a reason, and there's a reason that they're not ranked. But yeah, as we're speaking about things that wind you up, let's speak about something else that wound us up today, and it was the BBC.
I think it's always the BBC. We've never really said anything positive about that. I mean, you did when Raducanu won the US Open because I thought you was going to join. You were sending your CV in every other day, trying to be a very BBC-style pundit, saying how Emma Raducanu is going to dominate the tennis world and win everything. You've come back to earth, I think, since that time, and BBC did reject Ben. I was going to say something really inappropriate then, but I'm not going to say it on here for the reasons why they rejected him. But let's just go through this instead. And it is one of the all-time great sets, and the BBC now isn't broadcasting the second between Alcaraz and Djokovic. I know there's loads going on, but it's just not good enough when it's such a historic final. And my first assessment is the BBC are an absolute disgrace. Why the hell are they going to some sport where GB are trying to fight for a fifth? I forget what sport it was. I don't know what it was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, they was going for fifth, Team GB. And it's someone we've never heard of. It's a sport probably not many people watch. Don't get me wrong. If I was sitting there and there wasn't much else on, I'd watch it. However, we had Djokovic playing Alcaraz for the gold and silver medal. And as Djokovic has said by his own admission, one of the greatest and biggest achievements of his life. This is one of the most successful, not just tennis players, but sports people in the world. And he's saying it was one of the greatest achievements. Do you think they would have missed it if it was Simone Biles doing something amazing? Or one of the other sports? All I'm saying is, I honestly believe that the BBC do not respect tennis enough. All they care about is Wimbledon and their prize possession of Wimbledon. And really, them switching that over is so poor. There were so many people scrambling to try and find it.
Me included.
And I don't know. I'm putting it out there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. It's just bad.
Well, let me throw this one out there, and I know this one will throw the cat amongst the pigeons. The BBC went after Novak Djokovic during the pandemic. They tried to do a hit piece on him. They tried to say, why? Why, Novak? Why? Why, Novak? And he said, because I want to control what goes in my body. And I'll still be the greatest of all time, no matter if you stop me playing any tournament. How funny. He's about to win a gold medal. He wins the first set, and they're like, right, turn that off. We're not having him winning a gold medal on our watch.
Oh, I've got YouTube in the ear. They're just saying they're going to take us down for you criticising the BBC.
Allegedly, that happened. That's what
Yeah, we have to say allegedly. We need to be careful what we say because we're live on YouTube. You can get in trouble, as you know, in this current day. Yeah. But one thing we can all agree on is BBC, what they did today is no surprise. It's no surprise at all. And it's very disappointing. Being someone from Britain who has grown up watching BBC Sport, I used to think quite a lot of it as a kid growing up.
Yeah,
not anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, sour grapes, I think.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. Yeah, Novak did walk out on the BBC recently as well on an interview.
Yeah, that was after that moment at Wimbledon, wasn't it? After they just kept on pressing him about something that had happened with the crowd. Rather, that was the good night thing, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, why not speak about his next opponent? And then as soon as they gave him a question about it, he was like, nah, I'm done. Alex de Minaur. And then Alex de Minaur pulled out anyway. So there you go. He had the last laugh there, got to the final. Let's try and go to something a bit more positive. And one of the real positive things that was during this final today was Novak Djokovic's family in the stands and he had his whole family, and you can see they had wife Elena, and he had his 2 children there. They were all holding up signs. It was a beautiful sight to see how passionate his family are and getting behind him. And it was good to see that they weren't getting distracted, the children as well. We know Stefan, gets quite involved, a few fist pumps. He sometimes even does the Djokovic-esque smashes and stuff. He reenacts what his dad's doing on the court in the stands. But also his daughter was actually getting involved as well. She wasn't away looking at something else. She was getting involved today as well. Brilliant to see, and a lovely photo. Absolutely love seeing this.
Do you know why everyone got so involved? Because it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that, and that's what makes it such a great sport. Because, let's be fair, the kids sometimes when they're watching Grand Slams, best of 5, you see them half dozing off. Even Yelena at times, they're not as pumped. When you add the Olympics, there's that element of fun because you've got a lot of non-tennis people there who are watching, which I think creates a quite an interesting, unique dynamic. You've got loads of flags and nice colours. And from a visual standpoint, it's always quite exciting and fun. You've got best of 3, so it's going to be quicker, despite the efforts of making it a ridiculously long match.
So quick.
And I think the kids probably really just enjoyed being patriotic to their country, Serbia. They all had flags. They were all dressed up in the colours. You can see them there draped round Stefan, isn't it, with a flag.
Yeah.
And there was that air of excitement. And I think that is what made it, for the family, even more emotional and special because everyone was entertained and just gripped and focused in what was going on.
Yeah, definitely. I know Stefan does get involved with the slams, but yeah, like you said, 5 sets is difficult to keep a child interested, but Tara was definitely much more involved in this one. Great to see that, supporting a country is definitely something you can always get your children behind as well. And if it's your dad playing for the country, makes it slightly easier to even support Serbia. But we had Djokovic, obviously, the first thing he did as soon as he won his gold medal, he put out a tweet as well. And I can't read it in Serbian, so we'll see the English translation saying, "Dear Serbia, we did it. Love, Nole." There he is, and there he is with the gold medal. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Oh, God. It's just, I'm not sure how many more tweets I've got to go through. I think that might be.
I think that's the last one, Ben. I think that's where we can leave it there. I think that was our assessment and our take on Novak Djokovic completing tennis, winning his gold medal, and doing everything you could ever ask for as a tennis player, and that's just everything. So that's our reaction. Let us know yours in the comments section below. Thank you for the people who did send a super chat, and if you haven't already, please hit that like button. We are not a woke channel. We'll say it as it is. We will often offend some people from time to time, but it's just our truth. Differences of opinions should always be encouraged, and I feel like if people had that attitude, we'd be in a better place in this world. You don't always have to shoot someone down who has a different opinion. Sit there, debate, have reasonable discussions, and counter what they say if you feel passionate about it. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone should be entitled to what they think. And I think right now, my opinion is that Novak Djokovic is the greatest player of all time, without a shadow of a doubt.
Most definitely. Well, let's wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody, once again. Well done to Novak Djokovic. He gets the gold. Unfortunately, Alcaraz gets the silver, but hopefully he'll be back again sometime in the future. But that's it. Djokovic wins gold. Let's roll on to the US Open. Can we get another slam as well?
Steady on, steady on. And if you have just found this channel, we do also have podcasts on Spotify as well. We do have a Patreon, which we use, which supports us and allows us to keep doing this kind of content. So any of your support will be greatly appreciated. Ben's going to stick a Patreon link in the live chat right now. And we're going to end with how today ended in the match. And that is Novak Djokovic winning his first gold medal at the Olympics. Good night, Nole fans. I'm sure you're going to sleep. Well, maybe you won't sleep. Maybe you're partying into the night, but if you do sleep, you'll be sleeping very pleasantly on your pillow, smiling away about what Novak Djokovic achieved today. See you very soon.
Serves in. Djokovic return. It's deep. Djokovic. Big forward. Yes! He's done it! Djokovic has got the gold! Yes! Come on, son! Yes, he's done it!
You can tell by Ben's reaction, Novak Djokovic has won the gold medal in straight sets, 2 tie breaks. The last thing he needed to achieve, and he's won gold.